Okay.
Want to do?
So, so your dog serves as a stand-in for your husband right now because he's on deployment. So he kind of is that support for you while you don't have your husband around. That's nice. I noticed that your Skype location says you're from California. So did you just move up here recently?
About a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Bellingham, and then I lived in Bremerton for 4 years, and then moved to California with my husband a year ago.
Were those moves stressful for you?
Yeah, absolutely. They were beyond stressful for many reasons. One of the biggest ones being, though, that I kind of had my whole school plan mapped out, and the move ended up happening a year before we were expecting. So I had a whole year planned to finish out my associate, and kind of had to scramble. And when we were moving, it was kind of in between when the semesters here, because it's semesters here and it's quarters in Washington. So I had to change, when we moved, it was the in between where a quarter was beginning during my move in Washington, and the semester had already begun here. So I ended up having to do online school, and yeah, just the switch over, kind of having my world rocked. And I do try and control what I can control, and so having things taken out of my control that I did have control of is really stressful for me.
Mm-hmm. So you're in California right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I didn't realize that you were still there.
Yeah, I was actually in Washington during the orientation. I just happened to have a visit scheduled there,
Oh.
part of my traveling with my dog. But
Yeah.
I just got back on Monday, so
Well, that worked out well.
yeah.
Nice. So it looks like your dog traveling with him is stressful, but you like to do it because he's attached to you and he gives you kind of the comfort that you need because your husband's gone. And moving from Washington to California was a little unexpected, but you're working through it, doing what you can to maintain control over your life, even though you're not living where you thought you would be, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's good. How do you manage that?
What, the stress of the move?
Just transitioning from Washington to California before you had intended to.
Well, it was baby steps for sure, and it was kind of just like focus on one thing at a time. I certainly don't do it gracefully. In fact, I got really overwhelmed after we moved here, and kind of like got really frustrated, and I don't want to say shut down, but got pretty close to shutting down. And I kind of sent an SOS to my mom saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. This is so hard, and my whole house isn't organized or unpacked, but I've got school, and I've got this and that. And I was working when I moved down here, so she ended up coming and helping me out with getting my house in order, and that was really awesome.
That's good. So even though you don't have, your support system from home in Washington, your mom is willing to travel to kind of be there for you when you really need it.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
nice. That's good that you kind of have that, even though you're not, close to home.
Yeah, I definitely deal with a lot of my stress issues by having supportive people in my life. So
I'm glad. You got your dog, you got your family, even though you're not home. Do you get to talk to your husband often?
At the beginning of the deployment, I was able to talk to him a little more. After we had our time change, the time change did not happen where he's in Japan, so it made it so that it was later for him. When, like, say I would call him in the morning when I woke up, and for him that would usually be like 9 or 10 at night.
Wow.
But with the change happening and it not happening for him, it moved to like 11 or 12 at night, and that's he's working 6 days a week and working really hard, so he wouldn't be awake. So I don't talk to him as much now, for during the deployment as I did when it first began, but we're actually at the tail end of it now, so.
Oh, I bet that's exciting.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Take a Probably a day off from school just to hang out.
I know, right? Yeah. Well, and he's going to be taking time off in March, so once this quarter is over, we're going to have like a whole week off, just both of us. So
I was going to say, hopefully those two correlate so that you can just hang out.
Yeah, well, I made sure that he had them correlate.
Good. You're like, you will get these off. Only these days. That's good. That's good. All right. Well, it sounds like even though you've kind of got a lot on your plate with the move and school, from what I can see of your house, things look pretty well organized. So you got that put together, it looks like, with your mom coming to help.
Yeah, and actually, we just got a new house that we're going to be moving. I already have the keys to it, and I've kind of started moving little things, but when he comes back, we're going to be moving again. But this time, we are staying put until his orders here are up. So.
Yeah. Will you be there the whole time you're in school?
Yes. Yeah. We've got 3 more years left here, so.
Oh, cool. So you moved right before you started then, yeah?
Yeah, when I moved about a year before. I moved last March, and I just started in January, so.
Can I ask what made you pick Western, even though it's not?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, so, I want to be a social worker, and my end goal is a master's in social work. And moving here, there's a couple factors. First off, all of the California institutions, it's kind of like the same as the way Washington works, where it's pretty easy to transfer from a Washington community college to a Washington university. And that's what the majority of my credits were in. And to find a place, a college here, I would have had to complete a lot more, like, different classes because they have different requirements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one factor. Another factor being that there are no bachelor's programs in my local area that I really was interested in doing. And since human services is, I'd say like the little or big sister of social work, it works really well. And when I lived in Bremerton, there was a billboard across the bridge that I drove every day, and it said human services, get your degree online. So I knew about this program when everything happened, and kind of kept it, in the back of my mind in case something happened and I couldn't find anything here, which I wasn't able to. So.
Well, that's good. At least you had a game plan for school.
Yes, as I was saying earlier, the things that I can control, I do try to control.
Sorry, that was like.
That's okay. I have Sloan in my lap right now.
Hold on. I'm almost done. Okay, bud. Come on. Sorry. Okay. Come on. He's 3.
No, I totally understand. It's not a problem.
Okay. But yeah, no, that's cool that you kind of had that going for you. It takes kind of, I guess, one straw off the camel's back for you,
Yeah.
Which is good. Okay, well, it sounds like you, despite your stresses, you're still just keeping a good head on your shoulders. Rolling with the punches, right? Taking one day at a time.
I try to, yeah.
That's good. That's all any of us can do, right?
Yeah.
Just look at it. I do the same thing, Got a kid, jobs, school. It gets a little overwhelming sometimes, so.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep on trucking, right? Like, what can I accomplish today? Start the to-do list with the easy things and then work your way down, right?
Yeah, that's definitely how I do it, too.
Good. All right. Well, I just wanted to thank you very much for interviewing with me today, and I was wondering if you have any questions that you want to ask me.
No, I do not have any questions.
No? Do you want to... Yeah, no problem. Do you want to set up a time for next week?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Can we have a video here?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
But we can end it now if you want.
Okay.
Okay.